What's up, you guys? It's your girl Tati, and I got my homie Jamar here. We're here to talk about a couple of things that's going on in the wrestling world. Starting off with some horrible news. You guys know Double or Nothing pay-per-view was this weekend, and Adam Copeland, I don't know what he thought he was, decides to climb all the way to the top of the cage and deliver a flying elbow onto a poor, hopeless Malachi Black. And if you do watch that back, you can see he landed on his leg in an awkward way. And he did confirm this morning on a video that he fractured his tibia and he's going to need surgery. And that means he has to vacate the TNT title. First of all, get well wishes to Adam Copeland.
Oh, yes.
He's had a hell of a run in AEW so far. He's done amazing since he's come on to AEW. However, unfortunately, he made a poor decision. Whoever idea that was, I don't know. Adam, you're like 50 years old. Like, bro, you're not 20, okay? So he's going to need surgery. And that means that the TNT title will be vacated. And already there are wrestlers who are wishing him, well wishes. However, they're already claiming their spot to getting that TNT title. Jamar, who do you think should get the title?
Well, can I just say first, that spot last night, watching it, I really thought he was going to do like a crossbody. Like, I couldn't imagine, and it's scary, so scary, like the idea of landing feet first. I know it's a bouncy mat, but goodness, I just can't imagine it. But anyway, sorry, could you tell me the question again?
Yeah, who do you think should be TNT champion? Oh, wait, and one thing too, should this be like an interim situation or he vacates the title and have to get back in line?
Oh, both very good questions. About the vacating or the doing the interim thing, I feel like AEW's tried that, and I don't feel like any time that we've had that it's worked out. Like with the CM Punk and then having to come back, and they almost did it with Thunder Rosa, but they eventually took it off of her. Right. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of like the interim thing. I get that you have that automatic feud when someone comes back, but some have. Listening to what some people have said, there's a thought that Adam Copeland, he hasn't really lost to any of the newer people, and so he's had the belt. He's had this nice run. He's excellent. I think he's had a wonderful run in AEW. So this could be a time, instead of like having him come back, because hopefully, him seeing that his legs and his body, he's closer to the end of his wrestling career than the beginning. He might want to just go into that Christian story, which I think is what a lot of fans, especially after seeing Gangrel show up, I would imagine a lot of fans would love to see. So for me personally, I don't think I care so much for the interim. But what do you think?
I think they normally use an interim thing when they feel like the person's going to be gone short term rather than long term. A broken leg, I don't know what the turnaround time would be, especially now that he has to have surgery. So I don't even see him making it to All In at this point, So best case scenario would to be just to vacate it. Tony Khan, he loves to do his little tournaments. I assume that that's what's going to happen here. And I don't know. We probably can do something else other than a tournament. In my opinion, I would like to see someone who's never had this particular title before. My first pick is Takeshita. I would love to see them actually do something with him. Now, he just coming off a loss with Moxley, so I don't know how great he looks going into getting a TNT title right now. But Takeshita being one of those, like the first person I think of to get the TNT title.
That's an excellent pick. Excellent pick. And you're right. Like I don't know how long a tibia fracture takes to recover, but I believe Kingston, didn't he also fracture? Doesn't he have A fracture
Ooh,
and
he has a
something wrong?
yeah, yeah. He's supposed to have surgery next month, and then um I don't know how long he's gonna be out for, but damn, another leg injury, ouch.
Yeah. And it sounded
Can
like
imagine.
that was a long time as well. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I like that Takeshita idea. I feel personally, I was very upset. I've been upset seeing Takeshita kind of like have that stop start thing. He already had that wonderful
Mm.
moment with Omega.
Oh
And
yeah.
who was the other big win over?
Well, he beat Tagesha twice, but there was like a group. It was like I don't know, 8-man tag match or something like that. Who else did he beat? No, not Brian.
It was someone big because I remember them mentioning like there was two big moments.
Didn't he beat Jericho too?
Maybe that's it.
That's probably it.
He definitely just Omega, just on that alone, like this young gun.
Yeah, that's enough.
Omega, right? So that would be excellent because we've seen a little bit about how the TNT was mishandled. He had those weird runs with Guevara. Sammy.
Hobbs is another one too.
Oh, Hobbs, yeah.
That was weird. Wardlow. Oh my God! Don't remind me.
Remind me. One more was Scorpio Sky. Sky. Now,
that's another good one.
That might be interesting because we just saw him, and he is doing a repackage. So maybe if not that, so I'm trying to think as well. Like some people who might, if you don't do a tournament, maybe you do a multi-man. I don't care so much for like the battle royals, but maybe
not with this. Not with this. Oh please. It's because we're sick of the tournaments, and we're just like maybe we could do this in another way. But a battle royal, no way. I wonder what they'll do though. It'll be interesting.
So other names to put out there, like a Scorpio Sky, because I personally don't feel he got the strongest run that first time around. But as well, you can argue that he did have a chance, and that would go against the someone new. So
that's what I would do. Someone new. What I see as a popular pick, which kind of surprised me, is Daniel Garcia. Daniel Garcia, he's great, but that really surprised me because I'm just like thinking I could think of a lot more people before I get to him. I've even seen people put MJF. Like MJF has done really big things in the company. I don't know if I would just put a TNT title on him. I don't know.
Yeah,
probably not.
Maybe back when Cody was still around and they had that lineage before he left, and it got all super wonky. But at this moment with MJF, unless you wanted him to kind of rebuild that belt, then maybe. But I don't know.
Now, what I do kind of hope is that at least by the time that Adam comes back, maybe by then Malachi Black could have that title, right? Doesn't have to win it now, but by then, and this can continue their story. And let's say Adam is like, hey, I had to forfeit the title because I was injured. I should get a title shot. Then he gets his title shot, but then he loses and actually joins the House of Black. But then now he becomes this poison within the House of Black, and he's taking Malachi's place as the leader in that group. And I would hope they would do something like that. Knowing Tony Khan, his brain doesn't stretch that far, so it may not happen. But that would be really, really cool to see. Like I'm saying it in a way where Adam doesn't have to get the title, but can still continue this storyline. Because I know a lot of people thought that it would be cool to see them do something where, Adam would have been part of the House of Black, or even Brody and Buddy Matthews joined him. I thought that was so cool when they showed that at the pay-per-view for a split second, but it didn't happen. So, but you also said too that, with it being like the last leg of his career, he can join Christian and do tag stuff that would keep him from being injured, since he's not in the ring alone, since he'll be with a partner. That would be cool too, but I don't know.
Here's another name. Oh, sorry. Here's another name that popped in my head. Due to the nature of his ability, the fact that I would love to see him going over and over again, and it wouldn't be someone that someone would immediately pick. Matt Sydal.
Oh, he is so talented. So he's really, really great in terms of having a champion that is going to give you great matches every single time. However, he's not the one to display like a personality. He'll get over as a baby face, but people still gonna want a little bit more to connect to. And that's one of those things that I've asked myself, like, there's a lot of guys who are really great in the ring, but they don't have that camera time, or they're not afforded that time even during the ring to truly just stand out. I forgot Roosh is another one who could win this title.
That would be
okay. Well,
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. If I were to do this right now and knowing that, or treating the TNT title as just an open, what do they call it? Like open tournament, open, whatever they call it. But the Beast Mortos, is that what we're calling him now?
Oh my God, yes.
Oh my gosh. If they put it on a Beast Mortos, I show up and out every time.
So while I do like that choice, would you prefer to see a heel champ right now though? Because we're coming from Adam, who's a baby face, and I don't know, like when I think of Roosh, now I'm just like, oh, it'd be so great to see someone heel. Takeshita, who's still a heel right now too. I think maybe this would be a great time for a heel. Malachi's another one too. Like I said, he doesn't have to happen now, but at least by the time that Adam would return, that would be cool to see that story come back full circle. I'm trying to think. Let's not let Wardlow. No, definitely not. Roderick Strong. You know what? Kyle O'Reilly.
Another good one.
Kyle O'Reilly. All his matches have been absolutely just delicious. Well, except for the last one, they put him in a squash. But he's been so good. Every match has just been A+.
And different.
Far. Yes.
He's a person who has that lineage, and he brings you something different, especially if you had. And then you could see him working with Lee Moriarty, Garcia, like some of the ones who have that a slightly different style that, you know, people say the AEW is just flippy dippy, but when you see like a Lee Moriarty, you're not thinking flippy dippy, you know. So that'd be really, really cool. Kyle O'Reilly would be really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. I've seen people say Hook, which no, thank you. You want to know who I saw people post that got like thousands of likes?
Who?
Riho.
Wait, what?
People are saying Riho. It had like over 6,000 likes, and I'm just like, you guys are kidding, right?
Those people aren't watching the product. They're not AEW fans. They're just clicking because they can click. Yeah.
Oh man, but you know, this is a great opportunity for either someone who's never had the title or just a young star who's hungry. Ricky Starks is sitting at home. Tony Khan, he's still sitting at home. Tony, come on now. There's so many great choices for this title. I don't know. A Big Bill is another choice too. I can see them doing because of Chris Jericho learning tree bullshit they got going on right now.
I don't know. Is reason for Jericho on the TV? I don't know if I want that.
Oh, well, you know what? All right, let's backtrack on that. What were you going to say? Who do you think?
How about after all the work that he's put in, people want to see him be a monster. He could do this really well, I think. Lance Archer.
Oh, he's one of those people too who was like, "Oh, get well, Adam. I'm next to get the title." And I was like, "Oh, okay. You know what? That's a really good choice."
And then you have like all these guys trying to like overcome him, and you have these matches where he's just like, you know, dominant, and you let him be a monster finally, and just like roughshod that division and build someone.
Oh, that would be so good. And you know what though? That can play an issue with him being part of, you know, the righteous group, because I do believe that the Righteous should also be holding titles right now too. They're a really great tag team, and together they're a trios. Now they don't have to win trios titles, but I would assume that, okay, well, if Lance have a title, it'll be nice to see the Righteous with tag titles too, whether it's Ring of Honor or AEW, because it seems like the Jackson brothers are going to be hogging them titles for a little bit. But Lance Archer is definitely a really great choice too. I feel like he hasn't had the best luck in AEW, but if you do follow him in New Japan, like, he is a monster in New Japan, and over here he's not quite.
He's the monster of the week, but one of the things is, like, he's not someone that gets to come in, reheat himself really strongly. My understanding is in the old territory days, you had like a Lance Archer who would go from like territory to territory, but it was like he would come in, be this beast, and get wins. That's the problem with Lance Archer. Like, he comes around and he'll squash people, but when it comes to the main roster, you're almost always expecting a loss. And you can't have a monster where you're like, okay, they're a monster, but they're going to lose. You got to feel like they're going to crush people and they have to be overcome. I don't get that feeling with Archer these days, sadly.
Very interesting. I still think he'll be a great pick, though.
This is silly because we don't see him anymore. He's on Ring of Honor, but a Josh Woods who has the physique, the ferocity.
They playing with my boy Josh. They playing with him.
Different style as well. So you could have like things with like Kyle O'Reilly and some of the others we mentioned. Something different along at that TNT level. Because you got Ospreay.
So I agree, he's at that TNT level, but that also brings us back to Really Yuta, who's had the pure title since January, and he's still home. It's just about June. And they would not have done this with Adam Copeland because obviously the TNT title is a bigger title. And like we said, we don't know how long he'll be gone with this, after having surgery and whatnot. So they can't treat it the same way like they would care, less about a pure title from Ring of Honor.
No, exactly.
So it's such a different circumstance when it comes to that. There's a lot of people that could honestly hold this title, and I want to say this too about Adam Copeland. I do think that he and Christian, surprise, these guys who are veterans who are in their 50s, they brought prestige back to that title. Remember, it was a hot potato thing with that title. And they brought prestige. I wish it didn't have to come to this where Adam is injured, but unfortunately that's where we are. And the next person to have this title should continue to bring this title prestige, because this title is, oh God, it's gone through a lot. It's gone through a lot.
If anybody remembers those like painful hot potato days when they were trying to get not Garcia, what's his name? Sammy Guevara. There we go. When they try to get Sammy over as a face, and then like,
always it never works.
That's one of those moments where they did that heel face thing, which like that was a little bit different, but it just didn't work. And that was one of those things where it felt like you could hear Vince Russo yelling, "Swerve, bro." I think that was when Scorpio Sky, I think he was going face and he just switched and it just made no sense. It was so yeah. Anyway,
it's weird. Whoever is next, they really got to bring it. Not just the wrestler themselves, but they have to be booked really, really strong, because this division has suffered a lot before Christian got his hands on it. I would say Kill Switch to get an actual real chance with it, but he's never going to get a real chance with it until he leaves the patriarchy, and I don't see that happening yet.
I mean, there's so many good choices. Some of the things that, like, you got a Juice coming back, which would be crazy if he got it.
Oh Lord! Oh my God! Yeah, because the whole group have titles. Jay Lethal, they'll never do that.
I know, but it'd be amazing if they did allow him to show out and get at least a little moment of glory underneath the AEW sun. But if they're not going to do the Ring of Honor, you know what? Sorry, real quick. What I could imagine. Oh, you won't like this, I don't think. What I could imagine is somehow the Elite hand it to Jack Perry.
Lord.
So that they can all have belts.
It makes sense, and it's not a bad idea, despite me not wanting to see that. Oh God. Oh my god! I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, but I have to admit, like, it wouldn't be the worst thing. The thing is, Jack Perry. What was the last title? Jack Perry had the FTW title for barely enough time. I don't know. Jack Perry TNT title. I don't know.
He's.
But I can see them making that happen, though.
Yeah, I don't think he kind of
would deserve it.
And that would be one of the things, because he is a heel. He wouldn't deserve it. He does have a bit of a shine on him right now, especially after, people are going nuts about that flamethrower spot from yesterday.
That and Darby Allin hanging and spinning like a rotisserie chicken. Crazy. Yeah. And you saw the pictures of his face too. Oh, absolutely insane. But there's many choices when it comes to this. But I really do feel like, for me, my top choices are Takeshita. I would like to see Malachi at some point with it, at least right before Adam comes back. Ricky Starks is another one too, for me. For me. Yeah. Now, speaking of championships, Tony Khan said on the media scrum, I couldn't bother to watch it because I was so disappointed what was going on with the pay-per-view at the end. But he says he's interested in having mixed tag championships. So we'll have a mixed tag division, which I think sounds really cool because that also gives the women's more time to be on TV, more time to be in storylines. That would actually not be a bad idea as long as they book it right. As long as we get really great stories, I think it can work. Now, in terms of which teams I would like to see, I'm starting off with like a really obvious one. A brother-sister duo with Saraya and her brother Zach. I think that would be great. I know they would love to do something like that. I would love to see them two together and just be, I love heels. So imagine these two mixed tag champions. I think that would be absolutely amazing. Who's another one that would be great? Harley with them acting a fool. That would be so interesting. Julia Hart, Brody King.
Oh, absolutely. Immediately. Like, just throw those two together and you have something magical, I'm sure.
Oh, man, that would be so cool. We've seen them work together on her way building up to being TBS champion. Brody was always by her side. And even when she was champion too, until Sky Blue got into the mix, they really do make a great team. I would love to see them, teaming up and even winning those titles. I think it would be great.
Oh, for me, another one that just popped into my head, Danhausen and Abaddon. We haven't seen them we haven't seen them really we haven't seen Danhausen forever. But letting them go and, Danhausen can do the speaking and he's already got the character. And Abaddon can be the heavy. I would love this. They have the makeup and everything, do matching looks and everything. Oh, I think that would work.
Oh my God. That right there makes me happy to hear. I would actually like to see that. I think they could work out, even though we've never seen them teaming or having something together, at least within the company. I think that would actually work out. We don't always have to have these serious teams. We can have fun teams, campy team that can, bring a little fun to the division. I think that would be great too. I did see people saying
Evil Danhausen.
Oh, that would be great too. Go flip floppy with being either very evil or very nice, and Abaddon being annoyed with that shit. Like that would, that would be great too. Oh man, I'm telling you, like Tony Khan, give us a call. Like, what are you doing? You need help, I don't know if he would actually do something like that because these two are probably some of the most underutilized wrestlers in the company altogether. I saw people saying Sammy Guevara and Tay Conti. They have a baby to stay home with. We don't want to see them.
And they've done that. They already had a belt down in. Oh. The only time I've ever heard of it or paid attention to something like that was when they had the belts for a brief moment, and they did.
Yes, that was from AEW. AAA, and they stripped them from the titles. I forgot what happened, but yeah, they did do something and they took the titles away from them. Whatever that was, I'm pretty sure they deserved it.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them winning no titles. I don't want to see them at all. Sammy Guevara, stay home. Stay home.
Here, how about this for a power couple, right? Swerve Strickland with Athena.
Oh man, that would work out too. I know. Well, he has the world title, but we're just saying. Swerve and Athena would definitely be a really strong team. I think I would like to see that. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I'd be impressive to see what those two could do together, because they both have reached independently in different. Well, Ring of Honor is still AEW, but they've had to really work and build themselves up, and I feel like they've clawed their ways to the top to get where they are now. So
absolutely,
that'd be a great pairing for me.
Trying to think who else would be good. So you have to play around with a lot of them, because most of these people are not paired up for any reason at all, so it's all going to come down to how they look together, and also what's the chemistry like with them in the ring too. We never truly got a chance to see Adam Copeland with Willow, because Willow came in last second and didn't really get to do anything in that match. So I don't know how that would have worked out, but that's another one to think about too.
I was trying to think of like Layla Hirsch. She has such a different style, very ground and poundy. Like I don't know if a Garcia or O'Reilly.
Oh, Garcia or Kyle would be great too. They do have so when Garcia's into this I'm a wrestler gimmick or whatever you want to call it, definitely would work out with somebody like Layla Hirsch for sure.
Oh yeah, bring him back to that Red Death days when he was really just like
Tony Storm, Luther, put Luther to use. He doesn't have to just walk around.
He is a wrestler.
You're a wrestler. Do something.
Although I would change it. I would make it Mariah May and Luther, because I would love to see
they
their
would
dynamic
not
together.
Get along.
Exactly.
That would be fun.
Like seeing him like not wanting to tag and then like having to force to get back in, and I think that would be a lot of fun.
That's an interesting choice too. Right, because it doesn't also have to always be about the chemistry. Like I said, you want to have fun with things too. So even putting people together that may not work, but kind of works at the same time, would also be great too.
And you have one built in already. You got Johnny TV and Taya Valkyrie.
Oh, of course. How can we forget that? They're already... they're made for something like that. Absolutely.
They're made for that. They got their own YouTube show, and they're a highlight of Ring of Honor, honestly. If you think about that star power on that show, they're one of the top groups in it.
I would love to see a title like this happen. I know a lot of people keep saying that there's too many titles in AEW. In my opinion, I don't think it's that. I think it's that these titles aren't getting enough attention. So when it seems like nothing's going on with these titles, and it feels like, well, y'all got too many titles over there and nothing to be happening, So in my opinion, something like this, like I said, with the women's division could benefit from too. Ladies get more time on TV. They get to be on stories, and they get to have at least another title they could have under their belt.
Who is Marina Shafir married to?
Oh, Roderick.
Right there.
There we go.
Because I was trying to think of Shafir with other ground and pounders like Kyle O'Reilly and some of them. Like it would work.
She would work with Kyle too, definitely. Because she has the whole martial arts background too, so she would work with Kyle, and that could be a storyline too. Instead of working with Roderick, she works with Kyle or whatever. Maybe Roderick can have his own.
There.
Yeah. Oh man, Tony Khan, give us a call. You need help.
Especially since they have that group already built in, and they try to do a little conflict with Kyle when he came back and Roderick Strong. So, imagine that over a woman. Some of the strongest stories when you have those kind of
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I would. I have to say, when you first mentioned it, because this is all very new to me, I immediately was just like, oh, I don't know about this. But now that we are going through a few of these pairings, like it. One of the things I always wondered about is why weren't there more women with the male faction groups? Because, like you said, it gives them more TV time. It allows them to be more present. It allows them to hopefully do things within the context of, different groups. So if you have this, then you can have them into these different groups. Like imagine if like a BCC had a Layla Hirsch. And then
right, basically, I can't remember which one of them said in an interview a few months back, but they said that they would like to have Marina Shafir.
Right, Marina Shafir. Even a knock on a professor is a personality thing. But what if
Professor could? BCC? Oh yeah, Professor pairing up with somebody could help bring some personality out of her boring ass. So that might work. Yeah, that could work. So many possibilities, and I really do hope he tries this out. Because, talking about it, you see the possibilities, and you see, like I said, for me, the women's division could definitely benefit from this, and other stories can branch out onto the TBS title and the women's title from there too. Who knows? We'll see. I'd do it.
This is a weird one. This is a weird one, and it's going against what I said about like ethnic groups and stuff. But just because I want to see her again. And Emi Sakura with Takeshita.
Oh,
like it's different. It's strange. I know, but I love.
It's different. If they're both heels, absolutely.
I love Emi Sakura. I think she could. She probably would need to adjust her gimmick a little bit, but her being in there and the two of them, like, she is just brilliant. And it is a disservice we haven't seen her in so long now. I can't even remember the last time I seen her, and I'm trying to remember, but I can kind of remember a few matches, but like it's been too long. It's been too long.
Absolutely. So many possibilities. Like I said, I think he should try it, see how that works. I think it would work. At the end of the day, it's all about how you book these things to go. Oh, Anna Jay and what's her boyfriend name? Jack Perry. I did see somebody mention that. I know they're a couple or whatever, but I don't know what they would be like together in the ring.
It's a little strange. They haven't brought her into the elite, or at least had her be like, maybe they don't want to have too much of a connection, but I could imagine her being like she was in JAS as a heel, so her as a heel with elite as an extension of that, then
I think the thing is that she's trying to stand out on her own.
Right, yeah.
Because it's been such a long time that she's been on her own and trying to make it. So maybe that's the reason why we haven't seen that, is because she's trying to see like what will happen if she does things on her own. So far, she's in the ring, she's doing something. It's just not really, there's no like title opportunities or anything for her. So I don't know. That probably would work out. So I would definitely love to see a title like that being introduced. It needs strong booking to really work, and not just those titles, but all the titles in the company. I think not only needs stronger booking, but Tony Khan also there needs to be that thing with the AEW title, world title, feeling like it's the most important thing. Like every title has to fall in line somewhere, and right now it's just all over the place.
I worry, or not worry. Someone had made a pretty salient point. Like at certain points, you kind of have to stop expecting the booker to do the things that you hope that they do. Like, because there are a bunch of things that I feel that, I wish Tony Khan would do better. I feel so strongly as well about the Swerve and the world title. I had a little bit of, I have more faith after the Go Home show for Double or Nothing, but will it continue? And it's like Willow as well. Like, she's been booked very strongly, but will it continue? I don't feel like he's always had the strongest ability or strongest. There's just something where he gets people to these great points, but he kind of then lets it go. And from my understanding, it's harder to build people up than it is to continue being at the top. So I don't know. At some point, it's like someone made the comment. It's not the AEW is not the company that listens anymore. It's more of the just take it and eat it. Like
I was gonna say whatever is in Tony Khan Wet Dreams is what he gives us. So
pretty much like he's
on Osprey's champ, Mercedes is champ, the Elite is champ. Like this is stuff that he fantasizes about.
Like, even beyond that, like just the pay-per-views, like you got to think at some point, like some people enjoy the experience. It's $50, just put as much on a plate as possible. But then you kind of have like yesterday, where I feel like you could have cut a whole hour out of the show and would have had like a 10 versus a 7 or 8. And it might just be his thing, like Ring of Honor. He barely puts any attention to it. But when a pay-per-view comes around, it's almost as long as a full-on AEW thing. So it feels like
it's always so good.
It is.
Because you know it's going to be so good. He doesn't care what it is. He knows he has an amazing roster, and they're gonna do a great job. If the booking could be better, the company would be better. 100%. 100%. Well, you guys, those are our opinions. Jamar, let people know where they can find you.
You can find me on YouTube at the Transformational Scientist.
And you can catch Jamar, who also goes live with me during our watch-alongs. And we always have a good time, you guys. So you know what to do. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so. And we'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Take care, everybody.